Oh man, what's going on, good people? How we doing? Impromptu late night Giants talk. Man, I was watching the combine all day today, and you know what? I just got to review some of these guys. Man, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Shout out to the 22 people already in the building. Make sure you hit the like button. We're gonna talk about day one of the combine. Day three, really, but day one of actual field day. Defensive line, edge rushers, linebackers. Had to get a quick video out, man. So I do apologize for no warning. I didn't send out a schedule because it wasn't scheduled. I said, you know what? Let me see who else is up. We could talk about what we saw today. And if you haven't got a chance to see it, the field day, obviously, NFL will be replaying it. I believe it's on right now. They'll replay it again over the weekend. So, quick roll call though, man. Quick roll call again. Shout out to the people in the building. My man Corky in the building said Big Dash knows what. We talking draft tonight, man. Money Mike is in the building. My man Rev, what's going on, Rev? Rev is in the building. JDJ is in the building. Clinton, what's going on, Clinton? Clinton in the building. BTK Flock said, "What's good, Dash? How you living, brother?" I'm chilling, man. You know what? I was excited today. It felt like a kid on Christmas. Enjoyed watching the defensive line, the edge room, and the linebackers perform, especially the linebackers. But everybody did good today. All three groups did good today. And we're going to go over it. I got the NFL.com pulled up, the combine tracker. We're going to go over some of these athletes and see what they scored. And yeah, we're going to vibe for a little bit. Won't be on for a long time, but we definitely going to be on for a good time. Corky says we heard it first from Big Dad Sonny Styles. I wish I could take the credit for Sonny Styles. He was Sonny Styles was doing this thing, but I will say this: I was pushing for Sonny Styles, and today made it even easier. Man. You know what he did today? What Sonny Styles did today was this. Prior to today, there were a few people willing to take him at 5. And I think after his performance today, I think a lot of people are more comfortable at taking an off-ball linebacker at 5. So I think he did a fantastic job for himself, earned himself some more money. And I think already PFF has him updated to what, 5th in the mock draft ranking. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Sonny Styles, man. We're gonna talk about Arvell Reese. Both of those guys ran 4.47 40s. Yeah, real deal. And then the vertical jump from Sonny Styles, 43 and a half. Like, come on, man. It's crazy. A lot of people made money today. Jacob Rodriguez ran a 4.640, but we're gonna go over that. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and go ahead and put up what I saw on NFL.com. While we get into these comment sections. So I didn't even say anything. Let me know if the audio is good. Let me know if the visual is good. I see you guys commenting. So I'm assuming that everything is good. Let me go ahead and put the comments on so you guys can see that. It's kind of blocking some of the scores. So actually I'll leave that off right now. My man Saga Bryce says I'm ready for free agency. Man, I've been ready for free agency. I can't wait for free agency. I just want to see what the New York Giants do in free agency so the mock drafts can be more precise. Like seriously. My man Freddie Flash says Sonny Styles combine was it's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Luann says Sonny Styles talked to Harbaugh. Nah, a lot of people talk to Harbaugh. A lot of people, Jamal McCoy talked to Harbaugh. When a lot of people, Davison and Bennington, Union Zone, talked to the Giants too. Corp, what's going on, Corp? He said, "Big Dash popping, little thing stopping." Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. But keep the comments going. I want to talk about some of these prospects. I guess we might as well start with Sonny Styles, man. Let's go ahead and get to the linebackers, and we'll talk about Sonny Styles. You see the score, 6.4. They went over it today. Hopefully, I can move fast in this. If it's slow, then we're gonna have to slow it down. There we go. And I'm hooked up directly to the modem, so they need to stop bugging with the slow stuff. All right, Sonny Styles, 6'5", 244 pounds. So he really was as big as Ohio State said he was. Let me turn this
Honda
down.
is the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand for 2024. Get a great offer.
Get hit with
Buy online.
We good. Okay. Definitely not trying to pay the NFL any more money than they need. But 6'5", 244 pounds, man. 32-inch arms, hands, but just getting down to the scores. So officially it was a 4.46. His 10-yard split, ridiculous. Vertical jump, ridiculous. Cone drill, they do bench press tomorrow. 20-yard shuttle, 4.2. Listen, man, Sonny Styles made money. I can't even show this too much. They got the clip showing in the bottom. I'm not trying to get demonetized, but you see what they was going crazy. So I believe that should be a live look at what these guys are talking about. But Sonny Styles, man, Sonny Styles making me proud, man. But again, a lot of good linebackers. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna go back to the list of linebackers because the New York Giants definitely need a linebacker. Anybody, let me know in the comment section. Anybody you guys want to look at as far as the linebackers? We'll talk about off-ball linebackers first, and then we can get into some of the other positions. Defensive tackles went off today too, man. Defensive tackles went off today too. LOL said Hill right below Styles. Said I want Hill. I like Hill out of Texas too. He's young too. Hill's young, but he did good. He did good too. Corky said sounds perfect. Okay, perfect. All right, I'm good, man. See, it's always funny when you go live. That's why I don't do the mock drafts, because the mock drafts slow everything down. Even when I do like the recordings, I don't know what it is. StreamYard got to get that fixed though, because again, I got the fastest speed when it comes to these modems, so it should not be doing that. Money Mike says we need a star linebacker like Styles. We do. We definitely do. Clinton Jones mentioned Romello Height from Texas Tech. Yeah, David Bailey went off too today. David, but he was up. Officially he ran a 4.5, 4.50, and he was floating. He looked like he was floating too, man. And again, I think with David Bailey running the way he ran, that makes him, better as far as the rankings go. And I think we got a chance of landing Sonny Styles at 5, man. If people still want to do that, a trade back scenario, you can't trade back too far. You can't trade back too far at all. Tomorrow we got what? Tomorrow is the DBs and tight ends. So that's going to be interesting too. But yeah, today was solid. That the bully says Jacob Rod is solid. Yeah, he ran a 4.6, 40. Actually, let's look at Jacob Rodriguez real quick. Let's look at Jacob Rodriguez, see what he ran officially. Yeah. 6'1", 231. I always like the prospect grades. I think it's interesting. 6.34 will eventually be a plus starter. He was a finalist for the Heisman for defense. Okay, so even better. His official score was even 40 was even better. 4.57. That's awesome for him. That's awesome for him. What sucks though for us is because he's that fast, the chance of him lasting to the 4th round probably won't happen at all. We need a 3rd round pick bad this year. We need a 3rd round pick bad. We got to figure out a way to get a 3rd rounder. Because it's a lot of talent between. You figure we pick 5, we pick 37, and then we don't pick again to 105. Like, come on. That's over 60 players being drafted between the 2nd round and the 4th before we pick again. We got to get a 3rd round pick somewhere. Additional 2nd, I'll take that too. But we definitely. But then you don't want to trade back because the chances of you losing out on Sonny Styles and Carnell Tate and all these guys is crazy. And then Arvell Reese too, man. Arvell Reese, he looked good in the drills, change of direction. These guys, they're huge human beings. Like, I don't know what's in the water. I don't even know. I know Sonny Styles is from Ohio. I don't know where Arvell Reese is really. I don't know, but something's in the water. Money Mike says Kayvon is gone. Equals a 3rd round pick. I've seen people say a 4th rounder. I've seen people say a 3rd and a 5th possibly. I think it's all over the place right now. But we definitely got to figure out a way to get a 3rd round pick, man. We definitely need one. Charges City, what's going on, Charges? He says blessings forever. Beautiful God loves y'all too forever. Tell everyone you know and don't know Jesus loves y'all too forever. Teach everyone how to see and enjoy their blessings too forever. Shout out to Charges City. All right, the message is beautiful. The message is beautiful. Shout out to you. LOL says, can the Giants get a 3rd for Kayvon? I hope so, man. I hope they can. And I'm with the camp of not trading Kayvon. Like I'm with that camp of not trading Kayvon. I was with the whole, trade back in the first, try to pick up additional picks that way and still be able to keep Kayvon. But just thinking about the money, hearing about all the trade rumors now and the interest that Kayvon is drawing up, something might happen. I think the chances are high. And for me, the price should be a third rounder. Also, depending on how much money you're talking about, too, it's going to have to be the right team. The team has to be needy for an edge rusher, but also have enough cap space to justify taking on, $14.7 million. Unless the Giants do something like a sign and trade where the cap hit is lower, makes it easier for you to trade them. But at that point, you might as well keep them. If you sign them and the cap hit is low, you might as well keep them. I don't know. They got some decisions to make. Harbaugh got some decisions to make. I wouldn't want to be Harbaugh right now. Not prior to the draft. I would love to be Harbaugh on draft night, but I don't want to be Harbaugh right now. Some decisions they got to make, some tough decisions, especially when it comes to the cap and who they decide to keep. Bourbon Cigars is in the building. What's going on, Sis Dash? What do you think? Number 5, Styles, 37. I don't think Boston drops to 37. Listen, I would sleep like a baby if the draft, at the first 2 rounds of the draft were Sonny Styles and Denzel Boston in the second round. I would sleep like a baby. I love that for us. That's what they be saying. I love that for you. I love that for us. Styles in Boston, back to back. Yeah, sign me up for that. Sign me up for that. Rev says Kayvon is definitely worth a third rounder. I mean, I think so. I do think so. Pete says Kayvon plus 143 for the Bears, 57. You're not trying to get a player back at all, huh? So Kayvon and 43 for the Bears, 57. It's a lot of good players that'll be there in that 57 point for sure. You can't even trade Wandell. He's a free agent. You can't trade him. He's a free agent. We either sign him or he walks. We're not going to tag him. So we can't trade Wandell. We can't trade Wandell. We can't trade Illuminor. We can trade Tibbs. Tibbs is the only person that you can trade that really got some value that I mean, obviously you got Burns and all these other guys, but you definitely want to keep those guys. But Tibbs is like the only one where you already have a replacement in the building with Carter and draws up enough value for it to make sense. So, it is what it is. The bully says KT is better than any second or third round player. First, really, because of EXP. He's better than any second or third round player. Like I want to say yes, but there's some players in this draft with higher upside than KT. So if you're saying right now today, as far as NFL goes, he's better than any second or third rounder, maybe. But as far as upside for some of these players in the second and third round, it's some good players in this draft, man. And let's be honest though, man. The hype that Kayvon came out with. If Kayvon lived up to the hype, we wouldn't have drafted Carter. To be honest, the reason why we drafted Carter is because we still didn't quite, see what Kayvon was, and then this year started off the year being his best year ever, and then he ends up getting hurt, and Carter starts to play. So now, we're stuck in this scenario. It wasn't from a lack of trying. I kind of see it the same way as Aziz. If Aziz was a good player, maybe you don't trade for Burns, but you see how things work out. Because originally it was going to be Aziz and Kayvon Thibodeau being the two edges of the future, and then both of those guys came up short, man, as far as what we projected them to be versus where they were really. And again, even though this was last year, a lot of people consider that to be Kayvon's best year. I mean, it still wasn't something to go crazy over. It showed promise. So I don't know, man. I think, and also how people get shiny new toy. But I tell you what, Kayvon is putting in the work. That's for sure. He's definitely putting in the work. JDJ says if we trade down to 7, we can probably still get Styles or Downs. That's the sweet spot, man. because a lot of people right now, you see how a lot of people aren't talking about downs right now. It's Arvell Reese, it's David Bailey, it's Sonny Styles, it's some of the defensive tackles as well. They talked about Lee Hunter, because Lee Hunter did fantastic today too. Big defensive tackle out of Texas Tech. They talked about Romello Height. I mean, they talked about a lot of players today. It's the combine. A lot of people are going to be hyped up. The best thing about it though is when you're seeing these players that are flashing on tape, the all 22, whether you're watching the broadcast or the all 22, when you see these players flashing and then they go to the combine and they perform on top of their tape being good, then they're solidifying themselves. They're making money. I was upset that Ruben Bain didn't participate though. I was upset that Ruben Bain decided to him and Mesidor both decided not to not to work out today. So I think that was a bad decision on their behalf. Especially with Ruben Bain, got his arms measured and he's right at 30. And people were already talking about how short his arms were. He should have went out there and performed, man, because he's a great player. Like Ruben Bain, college player, he's a great player. Mesidor is nice too. They should have been out there, especially when you see all these other guys that people believe they're going to get drafted ahead of you. Like with Ruben Bain, you got David Bailey. People think he's already going, but why not compete with those guys? Why not compete against those guys in the combine where the lights are the brightest and all the people are there? Why not do that? I guess you got the pro day too. So, I mean, yeah. Shout out to my man Jorge in the building. Born for Sports says, "What up, Dash? Checking in with you." Said, "Man, style shine today. Not sure he makes it past the Titans. Down Tate Reese might have better odds being available at 5." Now, again, we're hyped up right now. What he did was fantastic. Positional value still counts for something. So I still think we got a chance to get him at 5, like you said. But yeah, him working out today, doing what he did was fantastic. But Arvell Reese didn't hurt his stock either, though. Arvell Reese solidified himself today too. Good workout, good 40. So he should be still right ahead of Arvell Reese. I think that's what people are thinking. Also, he gives you a little bit more versatility than Reese because he can come off the edge as well. You don't see Styles being an edge rusher at all. You can blitz him possibly on a couple of downs. But yeah. Money Mike says, "I think we're going to spend a lot of our cap on the O line." Well, I saw the number for Illuminor. Now they're saying 13 million. They don't know what he's getting, what his market is. I've seen 8 million. I've seen 17 million. Now I'm seeing 13 million. We won't know until free agency starts not next week, not next Monday, the Monday after next. We got the tampering period. Was that March 9th? Got the tampering period. Yeah, because Friday's the 6th. Next Friday is the 6th. Yeah, 9th is be the tampering period. So then we'll start getting more information. Things will start leaking. Hey, did you guys see the Jets head coach? He was asleep. They caught him sleep on camera at the combine. Aaron Glenn was asleep. I'm pretty sure it's going around all social media, but that was hilarious to me. They caught him sleeping. Corp says Slayton is such a liability that we can't even trade him for the Mr. Irrelevant pick in the draft. Yeah, the money's bad, the play is bad. And the crazy thing about it is, man, all you had to do was your job, Slayton, and we wouldn't even be in this situation. If Slayton just did the job of a wide receiver, and that's catching the ball, if he would have just held on to the ball, nobody's just worried about what we're worried about right now. Because a lot of people are thinking, wide receiver. Got to get a running mate for Malik Neighbors, which is true. But you're probably a little bit calm if Slayton didn't drop half of the balls that he dropped. 2 of those, or maybe even 3 of those being touchdowns. It's crazy to me. Rev says, if you can get a joker that can play 75% of how good KT is and less money, I think it's a good move. Yeah, the money plays a part too. Again, the 5th-year option, $14.7 million. They're not he's not predicted to be, the starter. He's going to be sitting behind Abdul Carter. So do you really want to be paying somebody $14.7 million and they're your third edge coming off in the rotation. Now, if you got the money to spend, cool. Right now, the Giants need to make some money or make some cap room. So does it make sense? It doesn't. But I'm with you, Rev, man. Right now, that third round pick is so valuable, and the talent is there in the third round. I'm picking up the phone. I for sure got to hear what somebody's saying. JFC says, has anyone mentioned trading Tibbs for the Bears linebacker Tremaine? That's not a fair trade for me. That's not a fair trade for me. I like Edmonds. I like Edmonds more when what was that, 2023? I think he was a free agent. Was it 2023 or 2022? He was a free agent the same year that we got Bobby Okereke, if I'm not mistaken. So that was going into the 2023 season. Bears are already ready to move on from him. He's still a young player too, because when he got drafted, I believe it was out of Virginia Tech. Him and his brother, they were both like 20 years old, I think, when they got drafted, because he's been in the league. This is going to be his 8th year in the league, and he's only 27, so he's young. He's young, but I think he underachieved it with the Bears a little bit. I got to look up the numbers though. But you don't see here, his market isn't as high as what it was when he was a free agent, because they paid him almost $20 million. I remember the Bears, they took him and they got Edwards from Philly. I think they signed both of those guys in the same offseason. Yeah. KC Legit says the only player, in my opinion, that would get us some real draft capital via trade would be Dexter Lawrence, but it's Dexter Lawrence. Yeah, that's it. You don't want to get rid of Dexter Lawrence. That's it. But trade value, absolutely. I don't think his trade value is as high as it was, going into this season or last season, because he was coming off a fantastic year, career high with sacks and everything. But you can definitely still get some high draft capital for Dexter Lawrence. But again, that's what did Harbaugh call him? Not even a cornerstone. He's a center stone. That's what the Harbaugh called him. They're not trying to get rid of Dexter Lawrence at all. Dexter Lawrence, literally, if he comes back and he's healthy, the elbow's fine, I would assume he will be the same Dex that we saw last year. Not last year, in 2024. If he's healthy. He wasn't healthy and he was out of shape. You saw him. They got him listed at 345 pounds. That's how much he weighed at the combine. Dexter Lawrence had to be 370 last year. I'm not even joking. He had to be like 370. John May says Bain might fall out of top 10 now. Depends on what happens at the pro day. I still think he goes top 10 because the tape is undeniable. He's one of the best pass rushers out there, even with the short arms. He's been playing with them short arms his whole life, and he's done just fine with the short arms. That's a lot of us and the fans and the analysts saying, being concerned about his short arms. He had short arms his whole career, and he been just fine with those short arms. He's been able to work around it. Shout out to my man Chris in the building. Says Arvell Reese, he said that he didn't want to play for the Jets. I didn't see that. Yo, listen, the little brother, man. The Jets are the little brother in New York City. And yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. I listen, I believe wholeheartedly that Trinidad Chambers fought so hard to get an extra year eligibility and go back to Ole Miss because he didn't want to go to the Jets. Because if Trinidad Chambers came out this year, he was definitely going to be the second quarterback picked, in my opinion. And the Jets would have had no choice but to take him. And he just was like, you know what? I'd rather fight in court for an extra year of eligibility before I get drafted by the Jets. And that's crazy to me. But they put themselves in that situation. Chris also said, something with playing with green jerseys. The green jerseys? Shout out to Prentice with the $5 super chat. Says, trade Tibbs to the Steelers for a third-round pick. I think he'll thrive in Pitt. Plus, they have multiple picks. That's a good destination for him. Yeah, that's a good destination for him. I don't know what their cap space looks like, but I could see him playing for the Steelers. I can see that. He seems like a good fit there. He does. Now Pittsburgh might be too quiet of a city for him, but he can possibly go there. And said Corky says the tape don't lie. Tape don't lie when it comes to Bain. Tape don't lie at all. Speaking tape don't lie when it comes to a lot of these players, man. Sonny Styles missed one tackle this year, and that was in the playoff game. Went the whole season, missed one tackle this entire year. Yeah. Willie says we're not trading Dex. He's a staple on this defense. That's crazy, but I hear we get a case of M&Ms for Slate. Peanut M&Ms, regular M&Ms, peanut butter M&Ms. What kind of M&Ms we talking about? Let me know. Let me know. Rev says you couldn't give the country for Dexter Lords. He said, "Oh, for Dexter, leave Dex alone. He's gonna be all right. I think Dex will be fine. I do think Dex will be fine. He just got to get in shape, and he got to let his elbow heal. Now, there got to be some contract discussions soon, like this week, and then next week you're gonna start seeing stories after story, deal after deal, rumor after rumor when it comes to the NFL. Actually, let me stop sharing for a second. Stop sharing for a second. Yeah, and then we'll get back to that. Luan says Dart needs more weapons to get us to the playoffs. I mean, I see. Yes, Luan, you're absolutely right. Yes, we need more weapons. I will say this though. Last year, scoring points wasn't the problem. We were able to score points. Being able to score points more easily because you have more weapons, fantastic. I absolutely agree with you. But I'll say this. Got to fix the defense. Because Dart showed me last year that he can play with almost anybody. Like Wandell got over 100 catches. We only saw him play with Malik Neighbors for a half a game. Malik Neighbors comes back, and shout out to Malik Neighbors. I saw the workout videos. He's coming along. It's looking promising for him. So hopefully he continues to heal and get better and rehab, and hopefully he meets that mark of being ready for week 1. I hope so. But no, definitely need more weapons for Dart. But when you look at this wide receiver class, and I keep hearing people, I even saw a video for Steve Smith, Agent 89, talking about the wide receiver class isn't deep, and I absolutely disagree with Steve Smith. I disagree. Now the wide receiver class is top heavy. Like you got the top 3 guys, and then you got Denzel Boston right underneath that, and then you got I think people really do like Casey Concepcion, but he got a case of the drops a little bit. But there's depth in this wide receiver room depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a wide receiver 1, then you're talking about 2 guys possibly. You're only talking about Tate and Tyson. Everybody else is looking like a wide receiver 2 or 3. In the first 3 rounds, to me, because Denzel Boston, as nice as he is, can he turn into a wide receiver 1? Possibly, but right now, coming out of the draft, he's a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 to me. You're talking about he's a first rounder. It just depends on what team he goes to, and but I think he has the skill set to do it. But it's top heavy for the wide receivers, but there's definitely a lot of depth in this wide receiver class. If people are telling you something different, we'll find out in a year. We will find out in a year. LOL says Leonard Baum wants 19 plus million. LOL, Giants have way too many holes to pay a run specialist center. You're preaching to the choir, man. That $19 million can buy you 2 more offensive linemen. That can get you Wyatt Teller. That can get you Tevin Jenkins. That can get you Jermaine Illuminor and Wyatt Teller. That gives you a tackle and a right guard. Lord knows what's going to happen with Greg Van Roten. So, but it's definitely $19 million is steep. And I know a lot of people just, it's the center, it's Tyler Lindenbaum. But when you go and break it down, man, you look at the plays, to your point. Fantastic run blocker. Pass blocking game, he's okay. He's just okay. And when we talk about $20 million, I need an all-around center. I need the top center in the league. He might be one of the top centers, but at $20 million, I need him to be a little bit better in pass pro. What did I miss? Peanut M&Ms. Peanut M&Ms. There it is. We can trade him for a bag of M&Ms for sure. Hirsch for real. What's going on? Hirsch for real says Dash thoughts on Love at 5. You cannot listen, man. And I'm gonna be clear. Jeremiah Love is fantastic. Jeremiah Love should be special. Jeremiah Love has all the qualities of possibly being a top 5 running back in the NFL as a rookie. And with that being said, we cannot take a running back at 5. With all of the holes that we have, we cannot take a running back at 5. We can't do it. We can't. We can't. Well, we can do anything actually, but I can't. It wouldn't make sense to take a running back at 5 when you got Cam Scatterbull and Tyrone Tracy. So adding another running back to the room, absolutely. But drafting Love at 5 means he's automatically your workhorse. You draft him like he's Saquon Barkley, and he has to have a Saquon Barkley role. And then what do you do with Tracy, and what do you do with Scatterbull after that? They just relief. They're only what 5 snaps a game type players. I don't think so. There's a lot of repercussions if you draft Love at 5. And to me, I would rather have Sonny Styles at 5. I would rather have one of the wide receivers. I would rather have an offensive line. I would rather have a cornerback before I think running back at 5. And again, that is no knock on Jeremiah Love. That's just me thinking like a Giants fan and what we need. Kelvin said the plain bag of M&Ms, the plain brown bag. I don't know if I haven't seen a brown bag of M&Ms. I don't know how long. Joette, what's going on? Joey says, "What's up, Big Dash? Sonny Styles." A lot of people want Sonny Styles at 5. I did a mock draft as soon as I got off work today. I did another mock draft, right? Because I was watching, the combine while I was working, right? See how that goes, right? Did a mock draft, and like the first 2 or 3 mock drafts, Sonny Styles was going before 5. And I'm like, come on, man. He just ran at 40 and people are going crazy in the simulation. Like literally, it was like I think the linebackers were still on the field doing drills, and I did the mock, and it was like the Tennessee Titans take Sonny Styles. I was like, come on, and they did it like 3 times in a row. I had to keep restarting it because I had to get Sonny Styles at 5 myself. Like, what are you doing? I need Sonny Styles at 5. The Giants need Sonny Styles at 5, not the Tennessee Titans. Not the Tennessee Titans at 4. What? Willie says we're not taking a running back at 5. Are you serious? It's either Downs or Styles. I hope Downs participates tomorrow. I hope he runs the 40. Because right now the stock on Downs is down. No pun intended. But I think he needs to remind people because people are getting stale on Downs, and I don't understand why. Everything he does is pretty much phenomenal. Solid against the run, solid against the pass, to the point where a lot of quarterbacks don't even target him. So you really can't grade the tape. You got to go back to the Alabama days when he played for Alabama 2 years ago to see when quarterbacks were really trying to test him, and they quickly knew that he wasn't the one to be tested. But people forget about all that, and now you got everybody running these 40s, but I'm happy that the DBs run tomorrow, and hopefully he performs so he can, be in his rightful place, which is in the top 10. Corp says, "Where's Will Smith?" So he could say, "Keep Dex's name out your mouth." Yeah, that's crazy. Keep Dex's name out your mouth. Run the ball 24/7, KC legit said. You want Love, KC? You want Love at 5? Is that what you're saying, KC? Let me know for sure. Will says some fans don't do their homework. They hear a name and they go with it. I mean, everybody got to start somewhere. Will, everybody got to start somewhere. So it is, it is what it is. I'm not going to knock people for liking good players. They're good players. But you gotta look at these teams and see what the fit is, see what the holes are, and go from there. Because there's a lot of good players. If we're just looking at good players, and the Giants should take BPA at 5. but I don't feel like we're in the uh I think picking BPA is still a luxury. A lot of people want to do it, but for me, it's still need meets value for me when it comes to the Giants. Like when you have everything set and you're a constant contender, you're always in the playoffs. People always look at you as a Super Bowl contender. Then I think you can go BPA then. But when you picking at the top of the draft and you're not there because you traded, because you actually suck and you got holes and you don't have depth, then yeah, you gotta draft. You got to draft for where need meets value. Demarion just said, "Go Giants." That's a fact. Go Giants. Hirsch says, "I would love any one of these Ohio State guys." I put out a tweet like in January, and I was like, "No matter what, the New York Giants are drafting a player from Ohio State at 5." And at the time, people were talking about Tate, Downs, Reese, and Styles, and it just made sense. Giants need a wide receiver. You got Tate. Giants need a safety. You got Downs. Giants need linebackers. You got Reese and you got Styles. It just made sense. It just made sense. Tony Owens, what's going on, Tony? How you doing, man? Luann says, "Who do you want the Giants to draft at 5?" I want Styles. I want Styles. I want a linebacker in New York. I want a side-to-side linebacker that can help against the run, but also can cover tight ends. Sonny Styles fast enough to cover slot receivers. 6'5", 244 pounds. The man almost 250 pounds, ran a 4.47 40, had a 43.5-inch vertical. He jumped damn near 12 feet. Like, freak athlete. He only missed one tackle the entire season. Sign me up for that. Give me my linebacker for the next 5 to 10 years. Do that for me, please. Right now, we got Bobby Okereke, who's looking like he's on his last leg, even though I still think if he takes a pay cut, I would keep him because that leaves us with nobody. But then after that, you got Moosal. You got Bobby Okereke, you got Moosal. Micah McFadden is a free agent. We got nobody. I'm absolutely taking Sonny Styles at 5. I already felt like taking him at 5 before, but I couldn't justify it because he's an off-ball linebacker. After today, I could poke my chest out a little bit further and say, yeah, I know he's an off-ball linebacker, but guess what? Give me Fred Warner. I don't know anybody that don't want Fred Warner. To me, he can be like Fred Warner. And he's already bigger than Fred Warner. Sign me up for Fred Warner with the last name Styles. Give me Sonny Fred Warner Styles. That's what I'm going to call him. Fred Warner Jr. or Fred Warner 2.0 is what I'm going to call him. Coach Ward, shout out to Coach Ward, the $5 super chat says, historically, Downs, a safety, shouldn't go 5th overall. He doesn't measure up to late drafted Hall of Fame safeties. You either drop back and grab a linebacker or offensive line. Now, Coach Ward, Coach Ward, you talk ball. You said, how far are you trying to drop back though? If you're trading back, how far are you willing to? Are you willing to go back into the teens? Do you want to stay in the top 10? Let me know, Coach Ward. Let me know. And I'll ask that question for everybody. How far are you willing to drop? Coach Ward also said, "I take Styles at 5. He has elite measurables." Yes, that's a good word. Elite traits, elite everything. It's what? High teens, mid teens. What we talking about, KC? Because once you get into those high teens, I don't know where Denzel Boston goes. Because when you're in the high teens, that gets you out of the offensive line spot. So you're not getting Fano, you're not getting Maui Noah, you're not getting at least 2 of the wide receivers, most likely, depending on how high in the teens we're talking. Jordan Tyson has dropped in the rankings, but I think he'll be right back where he needs to be. I hope he participates in the combine. I hope Jordan Tyson does. I want to see him run the 40. But yeah, low teens. I still think a good spot is, who is it? I like trading back with the Bengals. I like trading back with the Chiefs. I like trading back with the Dolphins at 11. That's a good one too, because I think they got 11 and like 41. So I would, that's where I want to be. 9, 10, 11 range. I don't really want to fall, further than that. I thought I was about to say Machiavelli. It is Machiavelli. It says 8 or 9. My bad. Lost you for a second. Where was I at? Yeah. Let me know if I'm good. I dropped off. I got a new mouse. Got some new equipment. I hit a button. It took me all the way out to the home page. So let me know if I'm good, if I'm back. Where was I at? 8 or 9. KC says mid to high for the right price. For the right price. It got to be a fantastic price. If I'm dropping back that far, I need the second rounder. I need a third rounder. If I'm dropping back, and I might need something else depending on how far back that third round pick is. If I'm dropping to the high teens, mids, more negotiable. What's going on, Luke? How you doing? Coach says just as long as we draft them before our division round, we won't be though, because the Commanders got 7, Dallas got 2 picks. Dallas got what 10 and 20, or 12 and 20, something like that. I don't even know where the Eagles at. But we definitely, as soon as we trade back, and right now the Commanders at 7. Dallas, I believe, is at, I think Dallas got 12 and 20. So we drop back into the mid-teens. Yeah. If we trade back, there's a strong chance that Sonny Styles might end up on the Commanders, and I'll be sick if that happened. Like I already felt sick if they got Downs, but if they get Sonny Styles, I'm not gonna like that at all. I can live with Jeremiah Love going to the Commanders. I can live with Jeremiah Love going to like the Dallas Cowboys. I can be fine with Carnell Tate going to like the Commanders. But Sonny Styles, I'm not trying to deal with Sonny Styles as a rival. I'm not trying to deal with that. I mean, I would have to if I needed to, but not right now. Not in February. I'm not trying to give the command to Sonny Styles. That's crazy. Jermaine Brown from Brooklyn, New York says, shout out to East New York. He says Styles all the way. Giants didn't draft a linebacker since Carl Banks in '84. The first round linebacker. They haven't drafted a first round linebacker since Carl Banks. I got to check my mental Rolodex. I believe you're right off the bat. I can't think of another linebacker. Antonio Pierce, we didn't even draft him, and I believe he was undrafted. I think you're right. That might have been the last first round linebacker that we drafted was Carl Banks. Somebody be able to fact check that. Joe Edwards says, do you think Bain will drop since they was talking negative about his short arms? Yes. I do think he drops, but I don't think he drops as far as some people are saying that he's going to drop, because the tape don't lie, man. The tape don't lie when it comes to Bain. Like it's undeniable. And that's like almost everybody he went against. Like they could say, oh, he's been playing with them short ass arms his whole life, and he's been doing just fine. He's a top 10 player, damn near a blue chipper if he's not a blue chipper. And the only time people get crazy like this is during the draft, because at the end of the season they wasn't saying that when Miami played the freaking Ohio State in the playoffs, and Bain and Messidor was going crazy. Nobody was worried about his arms being short then when he was going nuts. Nah, they only care about that once the games are not played anymore and they can be nitpicky. And now they can talk about somebody's short arms and all that. Come on. But people are people. They'll do some crazy things, and he might drop out of the top 5. And then now you're talking about him. Like if I'm on the clock, right? If I'm the Giants and I'm at 5, and you got Downs and you got Styles and you got Ruben Bain all at 5, that's a fantastic and scary place to be. because you hope that you pick the best player out of that, or out of those three, and you really don't know who's going to be the best pro out of those three. We know the highest ceiling is probably Styles, just off of the traits. But when I watch Ruben Bain as a defensive end and an edge rusher, like, his tape is better than almost everything we've seen. So, I mean, it's a hard choice, man. Somebody's going to be dumb and overthink his arms, though, for sure. Somebody's going to be a dummy. Corky says, what do you think about trading 37 for a couple later picks? Listen, that's exactly where I'm at. That's exactly where I'm at. Because I think that's the only thing that makes sense. If you don't trade a player for picks, then you gotta trade out of 37. You gotta trade out of 37 to pick up additional picks. And hopefully somebody gets you a third rounder. You get a second rounder back plus a third rounder, or either additional fourth. But I definitely would trade out of 37. But it all depends on what happens at 5, though. What we do at 5 matters. JDJ said dash, had to dash real quick. I hit the button, man. Yeah, look at this. Is this some specialized? My son said, you got to get this. You got to get this. It got buttons all over it, man. It got buttons all over it. So I hit one each side, but it took me all the way out of the string. I'm like, yeah, all right. So now I know where I can't place my fingers. Pause. Corp says WWE had AJ Styles, now in the NFL. We'll have Sonny Styles, so it appears that we have a new phenomenal one. Whatever you want to call it, whatever analogy you have, Sonny Styles is special. And he proved that today. Just think about this, right? By all, like, everybody's rankings has Arvell Reese above Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles, when Sonny Styles was out there today, Arvell Reese took a back seat. And literally everybody has Arvell Reese above Sonny Styles. He put on a show. And it's not like Arvell Reese had a bad showing. He didn't. It's just that Styles was phenomenal, like record setting. Like, I saw the early unofficial RAS score. He got a 10.0. And the highest you can get is a 10.0 in the RAS score. Like, we in uncharted territories. You got a guy who was a safety 2 years ago. He was a safety 2 years ago. And when he was a safety, he was still 6'4", 230 pounds as a safety, moving the way he was moving. You know who else was a safety that moved to a linebacker? Brian Urlacher. And you saw how special he was. Put on some weight. Sonny Styles is 6'5", 244 pounds, and he still looks solid, like he can put on another 10 pounds. And that's crazy to me. Freak athlete. Corky says, I'm not going past 10. I hear you. Who's that? The 10 is, I think 10 is the Chiefs. I would trade 5 for 10 and 41. I would make that trade. I think it's 10 and 40 or 10 and 41. I think is what the Chiefs have. I would trade back for that. I know, and I might miss out on Styles. But when you start looking at some of these other players too, like the defensive tackles were showing out today. Shout out to my sleeper, Caleb Proctor. Caleb Proctor's Southeastern Louisiana. He had a sub 4.9 40 at 290 pounds. Look fluid in the drills. And guess what? Daniel Jeremiah was talking him up. So guess what? He is no longer a sleeper. I got to take him off my sleeper list. I had him somewhere where you can get him in the 5th round. He's probably going in the 3rd round now. Caleb Proctor. Shout out to Caleb Proctor. Shout out to Kyle Lewis, Jersey's own East Orange native Kyle Lewis from played for Pittsburgh. Had a fantastic day too. Believe he ran a 40 in the 4.5s. Fantastic again. And we said it earlier. Jacob Rodriguez did good. Jake Golday did good too. Linebacker out of Cincinnati. I believe he ran a 4.5. Actually, let me see what Golday ran. So Jacob Rodriguez ran a Jacob Rodriguez ran a 4.57. Let's see what goal they ran. I'm not sharing my screen, so I do apologize. It was slowing the stream down. Jake Golday, he's ranked. So looking at the list of linebackers right now as far as their grades, Sonny Styles is leading. Anthony Hill is right behind him. Josiah Trotter, son of Jeremiah Trotter, brother of Jeremiah Trotter Jr., is third. Jacob Rodriguez fourth. Jake Golday is fifth. Let's see what Golday ran. Golday ran a 4.6240. Well, that's good for him because he's 240 pounds. 6'4.5", 240 pounds out of Cincinnati. Jake Golday grade is a 6.34. Will eventually be a plus starter. Is his prospect grade. So yeah, these guys, like, as far as linebackers groups go, this was the best linebacker group I've seen in a while. In a while. My bad on the super chats. Let me get to him. KC Legit says, I think we trade back. The real question is, in what round? Now, that's true. Shout out to you with the $5 super chat. I'm sorry I'm late with the super chats, man. I just now saw it. The second round. It got to be the second round. That makes the most sense. First round is cool. Second round makes the most sense. Because when you look at the value at 5, you probably want to take one of those guys. You probably want to take one of them. So when you get to 37 and you're looking at a wide receiver, possibly, if you trade back just a little bit, there'll still be some good wide receivers, especially wide receiver 2s that are in there. Shout out to my man Tudo in the building. Tudo, what's going on, Tudo? $4.99 super chat says, massive respects to Big Dash, brilliant Giants live stream show as always. Greetings from our entire Italian rugby national team in Italy. Cheers, mate. Cheers to you. Shout out to you, Tudo. I know you had a fantastic season. I believe you said the season is over, though, right? Season's over. Let me know if I'm wrong or if I'm right for that. Coach Ward with the $5 super chat says, what worries me is the rumor that we letting Flott walk. So either we going hard for free agent cornerbacks again, or we drafted one. Free agency is going to be exciting this season. I don't know if usually I got my notebook in here, but like I said, this was impromptu, so I might not have. Do I have my notebook? Give you guys Cordell. So with the Cordell Flott situation, there's still some corners, but I do want to keep Cordell Flott. You got Tyreek Woolen, who's a free agent. I believe they're saying L'Jarius Sneed might be a cap casualty. So he might be available too. So there'll be some options, but I wouldn't mind keeping Flott for sure. And when you talk about letting them walk, it depends on what the number is. And the crazy thing about it is we kind of know what Wandell's number is. We kind of know what Jermaine Illuminor's number is. I got no clue really what Flott's number is as far as APY. So again, we got a week. We got tomorrow. For some people, is it Friday? No, it's not Friday yet. Almost Friday, damn near Friday. We got all next week, and then we got free agency starts the week after that. So it's not too much longer. We gotta wait before we start getting some answers. I would have loved to see them already sign and extend each player since there are players, and there's no reason why you can't start signing your own players. But for Flott, what I think is going to happen with Flott, I think they're going to let Flott test the market and then come back with a number. That's what I think is going to happen, because right now we don't know what his number is. And until we see somebody else offer him some money, we probably won't know. Shout out to my man Greg T in the building. Says, okay, I'm sold, Sonny Styles or bust. Yeah. Yeah, and you know what's crazy? When I was saying it months ago about Sonny Styles, I was high on Sonny Styles already, and I was willing to. And a lot of people tell me off-ball linebacker. You can't take an off-ball linebacker. I don't want to take an off-ball linebacker at 5. Yeah, I'll take Fred Warner at 5 any day. Any day. That's who I think he can be. He possibly can be even better than Fred Warner. But if he can be 75% of Fred Warner, he's still worth the number 5 pick to me, in my opinion. Corgi says trade styles are 5 and trade 37 for a second and third round pick. Yeah, I'm not mad at that strategy. I'm not mad at that strategy. And guess what, man? With all of these players, all of these guys having strong combine, and again, this is only day one. We got the cornerbacks, safeties, and tight ends tomorrow. I believe we have. I think we got wide receiver, running backs, and quarterbacks on Saturday. I think they said, and then the offensive line I think is on Sunday. I'm trying to figure out. Hold on. Yeah, tomorrow finishes the defense, DBs. So we got DBs, tight ends tomorrow. So Saturday got to be wide receivers, running backs, and quarterbacks, and then offensive line. Yeah, offensive line should be Sunday. Does Abdul Carter not count as a linebacker? To me, no, because that's not where they're going to play him. He has the versatility to play off ball for sure, but I don't think that's where they want to play him. I think they want to keep him solely at edge. Now they might move him around, for mismatch purposes, which they can do, and you might see him lined up over the center again, like we saw last year, over the A gap and stuff like that. But I think he plays primarily, the edge this year, because we saw him at the end of the season once Kayvon got hurt that he needs to be on the edge. He was the most productive then. Luke says Dylan Thinneman from Oregon looks good at 37. I can't wait to see him run tomorrow. They talking about he can run a 4.3 40. I want to see it. He plays fast too. He's fast on tape, so I want to see what he does. He's talking about the safety Dylan Thinneman from Oregon. Greg T says he's a freak. Carl Banks in 84 was the last one. Okay. Greg T says fourth. Yeah, that four. Yeah. I was surprised to see somebody did jump higher than that, but it was like years ago. I think it was Cameron Wake who had a higher vertical. It might have been like 44. Because some people were looking for that. Greg T going crazy over the traits and then the measurables. I don't blame you, man. And the best part about it is Ohio State so far. Ohio State did not lie about heights and weights of their players. Like we've seen, I remember we've seen colleges lie about heights and weights. I remember when Wan'Dale Robinson was coming out, a tennis of Kentucky, and they had him listed at 5'11". Like man was 5'8", man, and they had him listed at 5'11". But Ohio State seemed to be right on points, like 6'5", 244 pounds. Crazy. What was Arvell Reese? 6'3", 240? Like, come on. Casey Legit said, did we trade down twice before drafting Wan'Dale? Yes, we did. Hold on. Was it twice or once? I know we traded back. I don't know if it was twice. It might have been twice. I know we traded back at least once in 2022. In that second round. It might have been 2 times though. And George Pickens was still on the board when we took Wan'Dale, by the way. Shout out to Court with the $2 super chat. Says, are you going to any home or away games in 2026? My goal is to go to the home opener. That's my goal. My goal is to go to the home opener. Let y'all know that right now. That's the goal. Now, if it happens, fantastic. But that's the goal. That's the goal to get to the home opener. I really want to go to the home opener, and I'm really hoping that the home opener is either against the Titans, Dable's return, because right now we already know Detroit was announced with that they were playing in Munich, in Germany, and it's already been a rumor that the New York Giants will be playing in Germany. So we can almost kind of like guarantee that it's going to be the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants in Germany playing the game. So that's definitely not going to be the home opener. Shouldn't be a home opener. Well, it won't be our home opener because Detroit is going to be the home team, I believe, in that game. Because right now, when you look at the opponents list for the Giants, it has us as a way for the Lions. So But I almost want to play the Titans week 1 or for the home opener. I would love the home opener to be the Eagles too, just to get it out the way, or the Dallas Cowboys, because that would be a fantastic way to open up the season at home, and I would love to be in the building for that game, for sure. But that's my goal, man. Home opener is my goal. And then as far as away games go, I had LA maybe, because I think we played LA this year. I think we play LA maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Shout out to Tudo with the $4.99 super chat. Says Big Dash. We're Six Nations. Oh, okay. So you're still going. Six Nations tournament. Tune in Saturday, March 7th. Team Italy versus Brits. He said the Brits losers, and witness O-line destroy in action plays. Oh, please pray for my victims, mate. Yeah, we already know you out there crushing people, man. Pause. Out there putting in work. Don just said Styles! Exclamation point. I understand. I understand. Greg T says I'm Team Styles now. Watching OSU play this year, Styles was always more impactful. I said it early, man. I said, and the crazy thing is, people were on a Reese train, Arvell Reese train. Understandable. As soon as when I was watching Sonny, I'm like, Sonny Styles is a better linebacker than Arvell Reese. Now Arvell Reese also plays some edge, so obviously I can't compare them, 100%. But as far as off-ball linebacker, I had Styles already above Arvell Reese as an off-ball linebacker. And then, just like I said, when you watch the combine, it's like, yeah, everything makes sense. Why he's all over the place, because he just has that, and he's also a smart player, high football IQ too. I love the safety background on him. Again, when's the last time we had a tight end? A linebacker that can cover a tight end? When's the last time we've been able to cover tight ends, period? Styles helps with that. Side to side, we need that. We need that a lot. Greg T says Styles is the new Harry Carson. No disrespect to Harry Carson. Harry Carson was fantastic. He ain't running as fast as Styles, though. But Harry Carson's a Hall of Famer. Shout out to Harry Carson. Super Bowl champion Harry Carson. Let me say that respectfully. Will says, Dash, please, Skylar Bell. I watched Skylar Bell, Connecticut, UConn wide receiver. I kind of have a comp for him. It's very, very high praise. He is a route runner. He gets separation. Was 6 foot, 185 pounds. I don't even want to say it. And this is high side. This is me. This is a comp, like a ceiling comp for Skylar Bell. Antonio, man. Antonio Brown. AB. That's on the high side, like potential. The way he runs routes, the way he can get open quick, yards after the catch, got the wiggle, separation, sure hands. High praise, man. High praise. That's at the highest level, though. Who knows if he gets there? Corp says the draft is a dice roll. Not only is a player's talent a factor, but so is the system of the team that drafts them. So ultimately, the stars having to align, and a player will end up with a gold jacket. Man, yeah. But also, man, when people fizzle out, like you could, like in 2016, you couldn't tell me that Odell Beckham wasn't going to be a future Hall of Famer in 2016. Same way that Dexter Lawrence looked like he can wear a gold jacket after those first 2 years with Wink. And then we saw Odell fall off due to injuries. So a lot of these people look like they can be. It's all about sustainability. Can you stay healthy? Can you continue to perform? And how available are you? Luke talking about Ted Hurst. Ted Hurst is another one. He's another sleeper. For sure. Greg T says you were Team Styles from day one. Can't cap. Nah, yeah, man. Listen, And being a Giants fan for as long as I've been a Giants fan, and some people still say I'm young, but like I said, I've been a Giants fan for a long time. I want a linebacker. I was looking for a linebacker. I'm still looking at linebackers, and I saw Sonny Styles, and it's just like, okay, the safety background with all of the talent, you saw it on tape before we knew he can run a 4.47, before we knew he can jump out the gym, before we knew all of that. I didn't even know he played basketball. That's the crazy. I was seeing clips today of him playing basketball. I didn't even know he played basketball. I knew he had I knew he was he some he's some his father was somebody. I can't his father played something. It doesn't matter. The whole point is I appreciate that because yeah, I was on that Sonny Styles train for a while. For a while. Luann says, I'm tired of letting good players walk. I said, this is why we never go far. Sick of it. We won 2 Super Bowls by keeping the team together. I'm not going to argue with that. It's a different game, though. Which 2 Super Bowls you talking about? You talking about the 2000? You talking about 86 and 90 or 91? I should say. Which ones you talking about? Because it's kind of similar. Like a lot of the roster was the same with those 2 Super Bowl runs. But well, I guess it holds true for both of those actually, for both sets of Super Bowls. When it comes to players, a lot of the same players were a part of those teams. Greg T says Styles' performance today just sealed Bobby O's fate. Not quite. Not quite. Because we still got to draft him. He still got to be there. Whatever happens to Bobby O's contract, I think happens after the draft. Because you can make a lot of cap space without touching Bobby O's contract. But at some point in time, you got to touch Bobby O's contract. But I think before I let Bobby O go, and I absolutely don't have any linebackers, I would like to make sure that Sonny Styles is at least on the team, or Jacob Rodriguez, or Jake Goldday. I'm sorry, yeah, Jacob Rodriguez or Jake Goldday, or Allen from Georgia, or Anthony Hill from Tech. I would make sure that one of those guys are at least on the team, or I will make sure we got a replacement for Bobby O in free agency, and I'm still taking Styles at 5. That's why I can't wait for free agency to get here. I can't wait. Kazan says Don Aponte found a folded up piece of paper on Joe Shane's desk that says Sonny Styles no matter what. Oh man, Willie says Coach Ward, S. Smith said just today, or Steve Smith said just today, Denzel Boston is the best all-around wide receiver in the draft. But he had Steve Smith came out last week. I think I watched this Saturday. He came out with his list. He had Denzel Boston 4th on his list, but he did say that he could be number 1 easily. I like Denzel Boston a lot, and that's why I don't think he'll be there at 37. If you want Denzel Boston, you're gonna have to draft him in the 1st round because he won't be there. Shout out to your pops, man. Shout out to Greg T's pops. He says, my pops and Big Dash were the only 2 people I know screaming Sonny Styles since Dable got the axe. I appreciate that. Shout out to pops, man. Shout out to pops. Tony Owen says, I'll be at the game in Indianapolis since it's only an hour and a half away from me. Shout out to you, man. You might even see Daniel Jones. They might tag Daniel Jones. Did you see that? He might get the franchise tag. Or he might get a contract. And it's like deja vu for a Giants fan seeing the Colts do the same thing that the Giants did, possibly. And it'll cost them more money, possibly. Oh, shout out to Daniel Jones, though, man. Listen, he ain't on my team anymore. I got no animosity for Daniel Jones. Go get your money. Go get your money. Luann says, what can we get for Hyatt? Probably them same bag of M&Ms that you get for Slayton, possibly. Maybe not even. You know what? You could probably get a box. What's a nasty candy? You could probably get a box of Good and Plenty. You could probably get a box of Good and Plenty for Hyatt. Some people don't even know what Good and Plenty is. That you could black licorice. That's what good and plenty is. Black licorice. That's what you could probably get for Hyatt. I say that respectfully. Lord knows Hyatt could be watching this. I don't know, man. Listen, I fought hard for you, Hyatt. I listen. It was it was a long night. The Game of Thrones when I was fighting for Hyatt. I can't fight for Hyatt anymore. A box of good and plenty, Luann. That's what gets the job done for Hyatt. Good and plenty, gobstoppers, whoppers. What else? What else? As a kid, what didn't you want in your trick or treat bag? Dots. What else? Somebody might like dots. What was the jellies with the sugar on them? Chuckles. All that stuff. All that. Corp said he want to go to the Titans game. Listen. Shout out to my man Jessa in the bill. What's going on, Jessa? How you been, man? He says, I'll see you at both games if you attend. So you're gonna be at the home opener. Listen, man, if I do make it to the home opener, I'm definitely letting like you guys know. I ain't just gonna pop up and surprise people. I'm trying to go to all of the tailgates. I'm trying to be there with license plate guy. I'm trying to be there with the I'm trying to be there with all my people. I'm trying to be there with Jorge and the 330 crew. I'm trying to be there with all those guys, man. I'm trying to hook up with Sneaky G. Sneaky G might be there. All that, man. And everybody else is going to be there. That's the goal, man. Home opener is the goal. 5-string fling since I heard Styles ran the 40 and some and some Tims. Nah, I wasn't no Tims. It wasn't no Tims. He was floating though. Luann said, "Good luck to Tudo." That's a fact. Good luck, Tudo. Good luck, Tudo. Don't hurt those people too bad. Antonio Brown, T. Higgins type for Skylar. Okay. Scott, he's 6 foot, right? Is he 5'11" or is he 6 foot? I know T. Higgins is like what, 6'2", 6'3", I think. If I'm not mistaken. Shout out to the 122 people in the building. Again, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Welcome to the Big Blue Nation. Welcome to Late Night Giants Talk. Was this the first time you guys tuned in? This was an impromptu show. I was enjoying watching the combine and wanted to talk to the family. And shout out to the people that showed up, man. Again, hit that like button. It does more than you know. Okay, Luann was talking about the second set of Super Bowls. Yeah. Now I hear you. I want to keep the team intact too, but we got to have a team on top of that too. I don't want to get rid of good players, but some people are expendable for the greater good. I would like Wandell, Flott, Luminor. I would love to have all of those guys back, especially since we have a quarterback on a rookie contract. You got the space to do it. I'm watching all of these other content creators. I'm watching all of these other sports media people telling me that the Giants can get all the way up to $90 million. Well, you got to spill some blood if you're making $90 million in cap space. The team's going to look a lot different if you're trying to do something like that. I'm just trying to get $60 to $70 million. And you don't have to cut anybody for that. That's just extensions and restructures. Obviously, some people, well, I'm lying because I definitely want to cut Gano. But outside of Gano getting cut, and then obviously Bobby O can't play for that number. I want to keep the majority of these players. It's possible, and still be able to have enough cap space to make some things happen. I think next year, right now, obviously the number's not going to be the same in a week. But right now, as far as cap space in 2027, it's like $128 million in cap space. But a lot of that money is getting spent this year, building this roster up, because John Harbaugh does not want to wait. John Harbaugh wants results fast and this year. And I'm not talking about Super Bowl results, but he wants to be a contender this year. He wants to throw around weight in the division this year. And I could see a world where that happens this year. Maybe not the Super Bowl, but I could see us being able to throw blows with the Eagles, definitely with Dallas, definitely with the Commanders. But I definitely want to black the eye of the Eagles for sure. For sure. Tootsie Rolls. Tootsie Rolls are disgusting. That's a fact. That Tootsie Rolls fit. A bag of Tootsie Rolls and some what's it? Candy corn. And some candy corn too. For good measure. Mike and Nikes. Yeah. Oh man. Jolly Ranchers. Candy corn. Tony owns candy corn too. Yeah. You guys see how far I am behind in the comments. I'm going all the way to the beginning of the comments. I do apologize for missing. If you had something really important that you want to say, go ahead and just type it again. Rev says, I want to send a shout out to brother TP Wade. Just keep your head up, bro. Come back and come on back. Shout out to my man TP Wade. Shout out to Rev. Rev, you're a good man. I don't know if everybody knows TP Wade's business. We're just gonna say shout out to TP. Be safe out there and see you back soon. See you back soon. David Lopez says Woods will be top 15 pick. Woods. Now I'm trying to think. Woods. Who's Woods? Am I drawing a blank? Woods. Let me know who you're talking about, David Lopez. Woods will be a top 15 pick. Woods. It's probably somebody I'm just drawing a blank. Brandon says the wide receiver needs to be either first round or second round. I could even push for. I think some wide receivers might get pushed into the third round too, but it doesn't compare to the guys at the top of the draft. Though we can be all honest here. Like after you get past Boston, you got guys like Chris Bell, but he's coming off of a knee injury. You got Chris Brazzell. You got Elijah Surratt. You got Omar Cooper, who was above those guys. You got Jeremy Bernard. You know, you got the kid from Clemson, Antonio. I can't remember, Antonio Williams. And you move down a little bit further, you got your Skylar Bells. You got your McAllisters. TCU and UConn. Who else? It's some players. Ted Hurst is a chance because of the competition he played against, but he had a fantastic. You got Malachi Fields is another one, but he possibly has played his way all the way up to a second rounder. It's a lot of them. Steven Nars, Tyquan Thornton to play big slot, 6'2", 190. He was with Kansas. Listen, I had him written down, man. I got him written down for the Wandell episode that I did. I think that was earlier this week when I did the Wandell episode, life or what if Wandell leaves. Tyquan Thornton's on the list. The price tag is fantastic. He's familiar with Nagy. You know what's crazy? You can get Tyquan Thornton and Hollywood Brown for like $10 million, under $10 million. Like we need to revamp like the entire wide receiver room. Like, and we need to start thinking about things like, okay, I was so happy to see Malik Neighbors, with the workout videos and the pictures that he posted. What was it? They had him doing like lunges in one of the videos that I saw, doing lunges. He was pushing the sled and everything. So he looks good. But when I'm thinking about this wide receiver room, Wan'Dale Robinson really might be gone. And then Neighbors coming off an injury. And it's literally Darius Slayton, Jalen Hyatt, Bo Collins. That's it. That is it. We got the UDFA kid, was it Felton from Virginia Tech, but he was a UDFA. And that's really it. I don't even think Gunnar Olszewski's on the contract. This whole wide receiver room got to get revamped. We might pick up 2 wide receivers in free agency and still draft one in the first round, possibly, depending on what it looks like. So we got to revamp. And Tyquan Thornton is definitely on my list of wide receivers to add to this room. Former journeyman, found a home with Kansas City, had a damn good game against us. That's not saying much though. But also he flashed in spots. 6'2", speedster, target down the field, can catch the ball, unlike some people. Definitely on my list. Familiar with Nagy's system. So he'll hit the ground running fast, can help teach the other receivers the playbook. Hell yeah, I'm taking Thornton. It won't cost you more than $4 million, if that. Right now, the market value is anywhere from $2.5 to $3 million for Thornton. What? Hell yeah, I'm signing him. Somebody got to be cheap on this roster. We can't pay everybody $15 million. We got Malik Neighbors in 3 years are going to be due. 2 years, really, if we ended up extending them early. I don't think Malik Neighbors makes it to the 5th year option. You probably get that deal done. What time we at? We almost at an hour and a half. It's almost midnight on the East Coast. So we're not going to be here too much longer. Corky says Flott deserves the best bag he can get. I hope it's with the Giants. He's worked hard, beat out Banks, and beat out Debo for CB1. If they do bring back Flott, I still think Debo's DB1 or CB1. But I like Flott a lot. I like people that show constant improvement despite all of the chaos around him. What we had three different defensive coordinators while he was here, and got better. And he flashed just a rookie, and he became more and more solid. As the years went by. I like development. He was young. Was he 20 years old when we drafted? One of the youngest players ever drafted. They knew it was going to be a project for him, and I hope he does get the bag. I hope he does. But in this Denard Wilson's defense, he might need to get a little bit. Ain't even no might. He got to get stronger. They want to press, and he has the length because he is 6'1". He just got to get bigger. You got to get stronger, and we've been saying that forever. Ain't no way in hell you done lived in New Jersey for 4 years and you ain't gained no weight. All of them delis in New Jersey, you kidding me? It got to be genetics. His metabolism got to be sky high. He ain't gained a pound since he got here. Maybe. What is he, 175 pounds? I think he was 170 when we drafted him. You would think disco fries and all that other, you think he would be all right. Would have gained about 10 pounds by now. But nah, it didn't happen. Shout out to the Jersey diners too, man. That's one thing I miss about Jersey are the diners. Will says we need one of these wide receiver picks from. Yeah, we do. Luke says I'm so serious. Ted Hurst looks like he has the ability to take over games roughly same size as Carnell Tate. Yes, he played against worse competition, but he was also wide receiver 1, which Tate is not. Listen, I got nothing against Ted Hurst. We got to be real though. He played against lesser competition. But I will say this about Ted Hurst. When they played higher competition, even though he showed out, his best games were against, higher competition. I love it. And then you saw him at the Senior Bowl. He made plays. Same thing like Malachi Fields. Made plays during Senior Bowl week. Got the eye when took advantage of his opportunity. Skate Habitat said, I'm praying for neighbors. Everybody praying for neighbors. I'm going to pray for neighbors right now. Amen. Brandon says DJ Moore or Waddle will both be expensive. I don't think we shopping in that market for DJ Moore or Waddle. You got to give up draft capital for those guys, or you got to trade a player. And I love Kayvon. Kayvon ain't going to get you Waddle. For sure, he's not getting you Waddle. DJ Moore, maybe they're sick of his contract. He's making a lot of money, though. He just signed a new deal, what, a year ago? Or is this the second year of his new deal? I think he just got paid. So I don't know. And I don't want to be a hypocrite because I just said now is the time you can spend money because you got a quarterback on a rookie contract. Is it possible? Yes. It is very possible to get DJ Moore or Waddle as far as fitting them under the cap. But is that what we're doing, though? One thing I'll say this, too, about the wide receivers. The one good thing, and it's not even really like a good thing, the one good thing about Malik Neighbors getting injured is that, and Jackson Dart having to play without him, he didn't become Malik Neighbors dependent. And that could have been a real thing where you just chuck the ball to Malik Neighbors. I think with him not having that dominant wide receiver one and having to spread the ball around and finding other receivers down in and down out, I think that helped with his development. Now, the only thing I need for Dart to do is work on his footwork. Because right now you see him, he has a strong arm. He's able to get the ball where it needs to be. But sometimes that ball might sail on him, and it's all because of his feet. If he can get his feet set, his feet under him, and work on that footwork, he'll be even nicer than what he is right now. And that's not even a knock. That's just me saying, yeah, I'm looking at his feet, and the ball is still getting here. So imagine if his feet are set and his mechanics were even better than what they are right now, what that ball looks like when it gets there. A lot better. Greg T said F a wide receiver, real talk. We do have a wide receiver one, though. A lot of people don't have that. We already have that. We just need to find out who the rest of the room is going to be. They think the NFL is Madden. Some people do. Some people too. It's not that easy. It is not that easy. I tell you what, though, the mock draft simulator, that's a hell of a drug because it'll make you think a lot of things are possible. Sometimes I got to catch myself. And you guys keep me honest too, man, because sometimes I do these mock drafts. You're like, Dash, ain't no way you can trade twice in the first round. I'm like, yes, you can. Yes, you absolutely can. But the chances of that happen might be slim. But you absolutely can. And since it's a mock draft simulator, I'm going to push it to the limits for sure. Shout out to Scarface. Stephen R. says Ravens, Seahawks like aggressive and tall cornerbacks. Like Tariq Woolen is. Listen, there's some tall cornerbacks in this draft. Takario Davis, Ephesians, Prysock, both of those guys play for Washington. Both of those guys are 6'4". I think both of those guys got combine invites. So we'll see them tomorrow. I was happy to see these guys today, the defensive line, the edge room, and also, the linebackers. I'm gonna be just as excited tomorrow to see the cornerbacks and the safeties. Why? Because we need cornerbacks and safeties too. And then, the day after that, wide receivers, running backs, quarterbacks. We need wide receivers too. Every day this week at the combine, I'm gonna be tuned in. Happy like a kid on Christmas, looking at the future possible, or the possible future of future New York Giants. All right, man. Where we at? We already 5 minutes past the half hour mark, or hour and a half hour mark for me. So we go get a couple. Go ahead and get your statements in, your comments in, your questions in, and then we're gonna shut this thing down. Probably like another 5 minutes. Shout out to the 132 people still in the building. Again, any questions, comments, statements you guys want to make? Go ahead and put those in the chat. I try to get as many as I can read. Caden says Dash top 3 free agents, including guys that you like. Well, I'm only going to talk about guys in relation to the Giants. I'll talk about our own guys first. I need Jermaine Illuminor on the squad. I would like to have Bo Flott and Wan'Dale Robinson back. I need Illuminor. I would like Flott, and I would like Wan'Dale Robinson back. When it comes to some other linebackers, if I'm thinking about linebackers, I like Devin Lloyd a lot. Do I think we could afford him? Possibly not. I'm not even just talking about superstars either. I do want Tyquan Thornton in this wide receiver room. That's another free agent target. I'm leaning towards Wyatt Teller as the right guard more than Greg Van Roten. So I would love to see that deal. Also, we got his old offensive line coach, so that might give us the leg up on getting Wyatt Teller here. Let's see. Defensive line, the kid from Denver. You got 3 names. What I'm tripping. The guy from Denver. Was it Franklin Myers? Franklin Myers. I wouldn't mind adding him to the defensive line. It's a lot of players, man. I think that was more than 3. Stephen R says Julian Neal. Yeah. I'm curious to see what he runs tomorrow. 6'1", 6'2", 200 pounds. Yep. Out of Arkansas. Yeah, I like Julian Neal from what I saw. I like the running back from Arkansas too. But Julian Neal, he'll be there tomorrow. I want to see him run. Hopefully, there's no reason why he wouldn't participate unless he's hurt. So I do like Julian Neal too. Will says I forget that cornerback from LSU. They were talking about Mansour Delane. That's Mansour Delane for sure. That's his first year at LSU too. He was at Virginia Tech. He already met with the Giants too, because he was at the podium today. He said he met with the Giants last night, I believe. But he's solid. That's a solid. I'm curious to see how he tests tomorrow too. He should be a little bit of a freak athlete as well. Eric James Johnson says Sonny Styles will look good in a Giants uniform. I bet he would. Absolutely. Says Sonny Styles and the number 3. Who's number 3 right now? That's Russ, right? That means 3 is open. Number 3 is open. Now I wouldn't mind that if he still won a single-digit number. Hey, depending on how things go, number 5 might be open too. And we're picking 5, even though he wore number 0. But Brian Burns ain't giving up that number. But yeah, they might be some numbers available. A lot of people want to cut. Well, no, he's number 12 now, right? Jamie Gillen. Yeah, so maybe not. All right, Mike Estrada says, what do you think about the news that the Giants might draft? I don't like it at all. I don't like drafting a running back at 1. I understand what Jeremiah Love is too. He's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. But just think about it. If you take Jeremiah Love and you leave all these, when I think about the Giants right now, I think as far as the quarterback room, even though it's only 2 quarterbacks in the building, I think the quarterback room is set because you can almost have anybody as your 3rd quarterback for the most part. When I look at the running back room, I like Tyrone Tracy. I like Cam Scatterbull. So for me, I don't feel like Love is a need. He might be BPA at 5, but I'm not taking Love that early. I'm sorry. And I will say this too. I think a lot of that might be smoke too. Because if they put out that they like Love and they give other teams the idea that the New York Giants might even take Love, you might have somebody drive up the price for a trade. Somebody might want to trade up for Love because they think that the Giants might take Love. So I'm with that if it's all about strategy. I'm with the smoke screen. But if we actually did take Jeremiah Love, I would absolutely be upset about it. I would be upset about it. There's a couple of players that I'll be upset if the New York Giants take them. It's a short list, right? But Jeremiah Love is one of them. And believe it or not, Spencer Fanu is another one at 5 that I wouldn't want to take. I like Francis Marinoa more than Spencer Fanu. And Spencer Fanu is a good player. I don't know what it is, man. I got to figure that out. I might just be hating though. But again, for me, I need either Downs, Bain, Styles, Tate, damn Tyson, one of the damn cornerbacks, Maui Noah, before I even think about taking Jeremiah Love, to be honest. Will says I can see the Cowboys Commanders crying now if we get who? If we get Styles, I think in all honesty, I think the Titans take Love. I think the Titans take Love because they want to add a running back to Cam Ward. I think that's what happens. Stephen R says Brandon Jacobs hinted at that. I thought letting Saquon walk was to not have a star running back, but a running back committee approach. Scat is your thunder and Tracy is your lightning. I wouldn't like it. But Brandon Jacobs always going to stick up for running backs, man. You already know that. That's not a surprise to me at all. Greg T says Eric Flowers, Evan Neal is our history at O-line top 10 picks. Well. We took Andrew Thomas at 4 though. Don't forget about that. We took Andrew Thomas early. And I always joke around. Andrew Thomas, that first year, it was a struggle with Andrew Thomas. It was almost like, oh boy, here we go again. And then he had the fantastic second year and then just got better and better after that. And that's the crazy thing too, because Andrew Thomas had that turnaround, we thought Evan Neal was going to have that turnaround until he didn't. And we never got a chance to see him at guard either, which is horrible. But, the next team will turn him into a guard. The next thing you know, it'll be the same thing as like Eric Flowers. He goes somewhere, he's going to be a serviceable guard for years to come, and we're gonna be sitting here like, why didn't we move him to guard earlier? But again, my favorite phrase: it is what it is. Let them all walk, Chris. Chris said, "Let them all walk." Chris also said, "Office won't favor a slot. Go get Likely. Oh, you want the tight end? You want a receiving tight end? I'm not mad at that." Thomas had Nate Solder teaching him. You know what's crazy? That year we drafted him. He was actually supposed to be the right tackle. That was the COVID year. And then Nate Solder didn't want to, because he had a son that was susceptible to COVID. So Nate Solder sat out, and Andrew Thomas had to start on the left side. And then we had Bobby Hart on the right side. And the crazy thing about that is Bobby Hart looked better than Andrew Thomas in year one. That's when all the panic was happening. And we saw what Bobby Hart turned into. Neil didn't want to move the guard. Yeah. He was trying to. What did he say? I was born to play tackle, and you didn't play at all. You didn't play at all. Again, shout out to the over 100 people in the building still, man. We're gonna wrap this thing up, man. Again, and I do appreciate you guys for real, because again, this wasn't scheduled. It was impromptu. It was later than the normal show is normally, but you guys still showed up, showed love, and we had a good time hanging with y'all, man. He said his mom lied to him. Yo, that's hilarious. You was born to play football. You was born to play tackle, son. Mom lied to him. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. But nah, I appreciate that. We're going to close this thing down. Day 2 of on-field drills for the combine tomorrow. Depending on what happens, I don't know if I'll do another impromptu, because I am going live Saturday night for the Late Night Giants Talk on Saturday. So probably won't be a show tomorrow. But make sure you guys tune in on Saturday, Late Night Giants Talk, 9 o'clock Eastern time. 9 o'clock, of course, Late Night Giants Talk, so it's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eric James said good night. Willie said good night. Stephen R. says, do you think the Cardinals take Styles because they took Simmons high as well? That was a linebacker hybrid. No. I hope not. They got issues, man. They don't even have a quarterback. They might be in the Kirk Cousins business, the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals, the Steelers, maybe even Minnesota are in the Kirk Cousins, business. Because Kirk Cousins getting released. They already said that. Luann says, Dash, it will be 1 year tomorrow that my mom passed, and I found you. You helped me get through hard times. I thank you for that. No, I appreciate that. And again, rest in peace to moms. I'm sad that's what happened to you, but I'm happy that you found the channel around that same time, and I was able to help you get through a hard time. Now I appreciate that more than you even know. And Luann, you already know. Shout out to you. And also you've been rocking with me, so I appreciate that. Mike Estrada says, good night, brother. That's a fact. Good night. Vikings linked to Richardson. They said he could seek a trade, man. You know what's, and I swear I'm gonna end the show on this. Before we got that news today about the Colts letting Richardson go out and seek a trade. Just yesterday, the GM of the Colts said we're still confident in Anthony Richardson. That's why you can't believe what none of these guys say at the podium. Some people say, well, Joe Shane just said this. Joe Shane said, Kayvon Thibodeau is staying. You can't trust nothing these guys say. Nothing. No matter what, you can't. We're not going to trade Kadarius Toney. Remember he said that, and what did they do? They traded Kadarius Toney. Rightfully so. But still, you can't trust nothing these GMs say. Take it with a grain of salt. Throw that salt over your shoulder. That's how good the word is. And it's been proven time over time again. But with that being said, we're gonna shut this thing down. I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Hold on. Stephen R. I'm gonna leave that on. Leave that last comment on there. It says you can trust in John Harbaugh, though. That's a fact. And my man Travis said we need Jacob Rodriguez. I wouldn't mind getting Jacob Rodriguez. I don't think he lasts to the 4th round, though. If we want to get Jacob Rodriguez, that means we pass on Styles, and we got to trade to the third round to get Jacob Rodriguez. That's if he even lasts to the third round now. Shout out to him for running that 4.57 40. Okay. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows Big Blue Nation. Let's go.